Righto, what I want to have a look at now is the queuing system. This is a really awesome feature that even I hadn't used very much up until the last module I built. So I want to show you what it does. What it does is it allows things to happen in the background. Like I'm sure if you've used the JR audio module, you've seen the conversion process hasn't finished yet, because when a new audio file is added to the system, the user uploads it and then it gets converted into different formats, and the user doesn't have to wait for that conversion to happen. They can go about what they were doing after they've submitted it and uploaded it. So what I want to do is have a look at that now. So I've created this module here that is called JR Blah, because I already used foo in bar, so this one's blah. And all it does is it has a title, so I'll add a title here, hello. Not very impressive. Create a new one. It's processing now, comes back here, and that's been created for me. That's all the module does. But if you had something that was processor intensive, that the user had to wait a long time to get done, then we don't want to make the user wait for that process to complete. We want to be able to add a system to the queuing system and get it processed in the background while they're there. So I'll set that up now, and we can have a look at it working. Right, so here we are in the blah module, the include index. There's the create function there. Get out of there. Here's the create one. We've got a title, and that's all we've got there. And then it comes down here and it saves it, and when it saves it, it runs through a few checks there, saves the data, saves that data to the database, saves any media files that happen to be there. There aren't any, and adds an action. We're going to add a processor intensive run function in here. We'll call it JR blah takes time, and we'll put that in our include file. Function. Whatever that happens to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to sleep for 30 seconds. Seconds, it is seconds, good. And then return. Go. Okay. Let's take a look at that now and see if it's working. Do we put in a create or update? Put it inside our create save. Okay, so let's go create another one. Add a blah there. Take 30 longer than usual. And it's processing it now. So it's saving it. It's running through that that function that we just put in there, and it's still processing it. And the user's sitting here waiting and waiting and waiting. And I've got to wait for that to finish. So if you're sending out emails to a ton of people, or you had your audio file converting, or you've got anything that's going to take a long time, this queue system is what you want to use. So we're going to, instead of making the user sit here and wait until that function plays out, we're going to use a queuing system to let the just take the info, and then the user can get on with whatever they're doing while we process that in the background. Right, so we're going to change it over to queuing that module, queuing that function that takes time into the background. So looking at the job module, we'll see how it does it there. So in the include file, using, where'd it go? Right there. This is the queue that goes into the init function. JR core register queue worker. This is the job module, so job, notify job created, this is what it's listening for, and this is the function that gets fired. So we're going to use that. Split vertically, close that one into our include. Small screen. Make sure we just close that. So into our net function, register a queue. Queue worker, and we are JR blah, and we're going to fire this when when a new blah is created, and we are going to use that. That's the function we're going to fire. So we need to define that. We'll take a look at how job does that. There we go, we'll just use that one. Returns true. And here's the meat of it there. Cool, delete. So we've got the queue comes in, we check that there's something in there. We see if they've got any defined maximum workers, because you can get different processes working on the queue at the same time. And if there isn't one defined, then that defaults to 1. And here's where we can start processing. And what we want to do there, so we just want to fire this. That's the guts of it. So we want to fire this blah. Takes time when the queue fires it rather than when the function is created. So let's go and see how the index in the job create and the job create save, instead of running index update save, no, we want create save, update create save. So instead of running this blah takes time directly, we're going to run this one here and pass any variables we want to into it. Blah queue created. So we're going to assign it to the queue. X. Right, so we need to define that. We'll see how this one does it. And it just sets up any. We didn't get an item ID. We don't have an item ID there. You could pass all that in there. And what did we pass it? Ours was just JR. This should match that stuff we had up in the top here. Created. Down the bottom of the back there. There we go. Okay. So what this does is it creates a queue. Blah queue created is firing when the when a new blah is created, and then it adds this. It fires off this queue task. So let's see if that worked. Okay, go there. Blah. And we'll add a new one. Okay, so it's done. Much faster. That 30-second task is still taking place. It's just taking place in the background, so that we don't have to deal with it as a user watching the screen. So that's what the queuing system does. Really useful if you've got anything that's going to take a lot of time, like notifying users, especially sending out emails and things.